All right, as I said earlier, I'm going to show you these sample boxes again. All of these have drawers that have flat bottoms and flat tops to them, with the exception of this one. These have, a couple of the drawers have angles coming up, but they come to a point right there in the center, and you'll see why that is possible if you did something like that. But the rest of these drawers have flat bottoms and flat tops. So we're gonna try to design our box to look something similar to that. I want you to start with your sketches, paper sketches first, because we can kind of rule out a lot of issues that might surface, and actually get those drawings approved by me, just to make sure that they're going to work before you put too much time or effort into the inventor part of this. Okay, we are going to draw this part or create this part using an assembly. So I'm going to click on assembly or do file new assembly to open up this environment. And instead of placing parts, we haven't made any parts yet, we're going to actually create parts right there. So we're going to click on create, and the part that I am going to start with this is going to be box demo body _1. I don't know, I might do a couple of these, but this one I'll just give it _1, and you can see the destination for the file location is my Google Drive Design Processes bandsaw box folder that we created. Click OK. You're going to see when you create a new component this little stair step next to the icon. For this first one, we can click anywhere in the background, and you'll see that the tools switch from being the assembly tools to Inventor part drawing tools or part creating tools, which is what we want. So we're going to do a 2D sketch just like creating a part. Click on the XY plane and click on the rectangle that has the 2-point center rectangle as our tool. We're going to drop this right in the center of our environment, and I'm going to give the width of 10.5. A piece of paper that we're going to print this out on is 11 inches wide, so 10.5 will give me the pretty much maximum width on a piece of paper. And I'm going to hit tab, and our blocks should be about 5 1/4, 5.25. You can measure your block if you want, just to double check what your box is. Okay, I'm going to hit escape, and you'll see that I have got that rectangle, and these are construction lines showing me kind of how that rectangle was created across the center, through the center. I'm going to highlight this whole thing and click this little red icon up here. That's called a construction, and that turns all of my lines dotted so it doesn't make them solid lines like my part's going to be. All right. I'm going to do some curves, but these curves are going to be on the outside, so I can always use the relief cuts on the bandsaw to help me with those curves. So I'm going to use a spline interpolation. I'm going to start down here on the bottom of my box, and I'm going to I'll come up here and I'll make a little curve just like that. Okay, I'm going to go back to my line tool. I'm going to put a line right here from the center point and drag it straight up just a little ways and hit escape, so I got a line right there, because I'm going to actually project this over, and I'm going to use this as my mirror line. So I want that to be right on the center point. So when I click on a mirror and click on this line, I can use the mirror line to project that over to the other side. So that's a good little trick if you're doing something that's going to be symmetrical left and right. You don't have to. You can have your form be asymmetric. Some of my designs had stuff happening taller on one side than the other. It doesn't have to be symmetric, but if you want it symmetric, that's how you do it. I'm going to use a line tool, and I'm going to put some feet on here. I'm going to come over here, I don't know, let's say 1.25 inches, hit escape, and I'm going to do the same thing over on this side. 1.25 inches, hit escape. And then you know what? I'll use an arc, and I'll put a nice soft arch between those 2 feet, just like that. All right, that looks pretty good. I'm going to use just a flat top to that as well. So there's my general shape for the bandsaw box I'll do in this demo. I'll finish the sketch and extrude this. When we extrude it, I'm going to extrude it 3 inches. 3 inches and click OK. So there is kind of the outside of my bandsaw box. Let's do a 2D sketch on the front of this thing and figure out where these drawers are going to go. What I'm going to do on mine is project geometry, and that will, if I project geometry, I can hover over and project this line onto this sketch, or I can hover over and project all the lines onto the sketch. You see that yellow outline that goes all the way around it? What that allows me to do is go use this offset tool, and if I drag in a little bit, you can see those kind of purple lines. I'm going to put 3/8 as a measurement. So I'm going to offset that contour 3/8 inches in from the outside and click enter. And you can see I've got a nice parallel line going all the way around this thing. All right, now I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to give a straight horizontal line all the way across, hit escape, and I'm going to do that again right underneath it, straight all the way across, hit escape. I'm going to put a dimension between these 2 lines. And that dimension can be anywhere between a 1/2 inch and 3/8. I'm going to use 3/8 again. You can do a 1/2 inch in as well. That's just going to be kind of how wide your walls are. Now, if I drag one of these lines, if I drag one of these lines, hit escape, up and down, I can kind of see how wide my top drawer is going to be and how wide my bottom drawer is going to be. I'm going to make this top drawer a little bit skinnier, so I'm going to leave it right in there. Okay, and this will be kind of the shape of my top drawer. This will be kind of a brace going across the center, and then on this particular design, I'm going to put a wall dividing the bottom into 2 drawers. All right, so I'll do that again. I'm putting a line straight down the center of this thing, and I'm deliberately going beyond the contours. You'll see I'll trim all this up in a little bit. And then I'm going to offset this line to the left, and I want my total thickness of that divider to be 3/8 of an inch. So I want half of the thickness to be on this side, which is 3/16. And I'm going to offset this way 3/16. Okay, so these outside lines are now 3/8 of an inch apart from one another. I can delete this line in the center because that's not really part of my design. All right, good. So now let's start trimming these things up. I can use the trim tool, and I can trim, 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 trim. Just keep clicking on the ends of these lines, in the middles of the lines. All right, now you can see that drawer kind of pop up. And if I trim, 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 you can start to see these bottom drawers, but these lines need to get extended to the top. So I'm going to use the extend tool, click, click, extends both lines up, and trim out the center of that thing. All right, so here are my 3 drawers. Now with the bandsaw, it's going to be real easy to see how I can cut a straight line all the way across here, and all the way across there, and here, and here. But here is going to be tough doing that. So I'm going to actually take my line tool over here, and I'm going to extend it out in this direction, hit escape, and I'm going to take that line tool and extend it out in this direction, hit escape, and then trim the rest of this. So there are my 3 drawers that are going to be on this design. Finish the sketch and extrude. And I want to click, whoops, that didn't look good. Cancel that. When I hit extrude and I hover over, I can tell that I don't have a closed region. Looks like I have a closed region here and here, but it's not allowing me to pick this inside center. So that's actually good that that happened. So let me show you how to fix that. I'm going to click cancel, and I'm going to go back into my sketch where those things are on, double click it, and let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in on the corners of these things a little bit. And figure out, I don't see any open loops or overlaps. Okay, so on this, if that sketch is open, I can right click on it and go down to Sketch Doctor and diagnose the sketch. Click OK, and it'll find all kinds of little missing loops and redundant points, they're called, and so on. So let's see what this will fix. So if I click next, it's showing me that there's a couple little sketch points there that we can combine. I'm going to click yes, okay. I don't know if that did everything. It definitely closed off the bottom ones, but I'm looking for a mistake in this upper thing. So I'm going to run the Sketch Doctor again. Diagnose sketch, click OK. I've got some open loops. So I'm going to click next on this first open loop. And closed loop. Select a curve that is connected to the start end of the open loop. Continue selecting curves until the loop is closed. Press Control and click to clear all selections. All right, so I'll do that. I'll click here. There's a gap showing me right there. There's a little gap between the endpoints of the highlighted sketch curves. Would you like to close the gap? Yes. The loop has been successfully closed. Click OK. So there must have been a little gap there that we couldn't see. Let me finish the sketch and see if that did the trick. Extrude, and now this is a closed loop. So that Sketch Doctor can come in handy if you're not able to select your openings. All right. I don't want these things to add on. I want them to cut away, and I'm going to click this little icon so it cuts all the way through it, and click OK. So there is my shape. The last thing I want to do is give it a material. I'll scroll all the way down for this first one, and I'll just make it yellow pine. That's a type of wood. It's kind of a lighter wood. Actually, you know what? I want this to be, you can click on all kinds of stuff. You can do white oak or Java. I'm going to do walnut. It'll be a darker wood. All right. Once that is done, I'm going to click return. This brings me back to my assembly orientation. Okay. If I click the little thing that says the disk for save, this assembly, I actually want to call it box demo, and I'll underscore this and put box demo 1. Click save. The thing that pops up here is because we did a part file for the body, and we haven't saved that part file, it's asking if we want to save that as well. We want to yes to all and click OK. That way it saved both our assembly and this as a part. I'm going to end the video right here and come back and show you how to do the drawers.